Welcome back to your soon-to-be favorite podcast. I'm Angelica.
And I'm Kelsey.
And this is
Here We Grow.
I said earlier to Kelsey when Bolin was in the living room, I said, Bolin James, you netter. I said, Bolin James, you better not be in there fucking your bed, you little bad fucker. Motherfucker. As you can tell, we're clearly obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter's new song.
Yeah. Or like at least the
please. I was like, what's the name?
The vocal stem that comes from it.
I beg you.
Wait,
I forgot the lyrics. I beg you, don't embarrass me, motherfucker.
You can almost get that low.
Motherfucker.
You have to turn it into an E.
Motherfucker. I can't.
I was gonna say. I don't know what I was gonna say. I lost it now. You did so much trying to say it. Motherfucker. Oh, I remember. We were setting up to record, and it just got quiet for a minute because Angelica was looking at her phone. I was looking for something, and then out of nowhere, we both just said it at the same time. Just dead silence too. Motherfucker. We're just like, we cannot stop saying this. But
we love that song.
Yeah,
I love it.
We're back. What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Thanks for coming back and seeing us. We just completed our first giveaway.
Yes. Congratulations to Michael.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So glad. Thank you for everybody who participated. There will be more giveaways of different things. So stay tuned.
Yes.
Yep.
It was really fun for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any updates? Where are you going this weekend?
Oh my God, guys. I am going to go see my husband, my true husband.
Everyone's confused.
I'm going to go see Russ. And if you know me, you know I love Russ. I love Russ. Okay. So I live. I am actually going to the concert alone. It's my first time doing that. I spent quite a bit of money on his ticket, and I know I just couldn't ask another friend to go with me because it was just way too expensive. Yeah, it's too much of a burden for them to not like him like that or as much as I do. I just couldn't. So I was like, you know what? I can do it by myself. I can go by myself.
Yep. Independent girl shit.
So it's in Chicago, so I'll be there this weekend. And wow.
Yeah, show him your titties.
They do throw bras at him.
I figured.
But I won't be wearing one, so.
Then the only thing left is to show him your titties.
I gotta throw him my titties.
Wait, what's your VIP? You said you got VIP tickets, right?
Yeah, VIP
So you might
tickets.
meet him.
There's no artist involvement, but we get to stand on the stage before anyone gets to perform. We have to go on the stage and be in there's a green room or something, and there's a photo opportunity on the stage and somewhere else, I think, and
the green room is where they hang out before they go on
stage. I know, that's why I'm like, Russ.
Maybe they just don't advertise that he's involved in case he can't be involved for some reason.
Or he doesn't want to or something.
He's not
time. Yeah, I mean, every city he goes to, he's been playing basketball. He tries to find out where people hoop. So hopefully he'll be there. It's where the Bulls play. So I'm hoping that maybe they have some kind of enticing, I don't know. What's it called? Murals or some kind of
pickup.
Huh?
Like a pickup game?
No. Like a trophy glass.
Oh. I thought you were still talking about basketball.
I am.
Oh.
But at the stadium. So that Russ could be there early. I mean, he'll be there, but
what about a trophy?
Never mind, motherfucker. So anyway, it's okay. I'm just really, really excited. And so we'll see.
You're going to get some merch when you go?
Yes, I am.
Should be a good time.
It should be a good time. It's Sunday, so that's the part that sucks. But I mean, I have Monday off, so It is what it is.
You're going to need that Monday recovery.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting too old to be going to concerts and going to work the next day.
Can we do like a segment like we're getting too old for...
Yes.
I'm too old for this shit edition.
Yes, we should do that.
Stairs.
So for fucking serious. What else? Now I kind of want to think about it. I'm getting too old for...
Or what just bothers you now that you're older? People not using their fucking turning signals. God damn.
Yes. People talking on speakerphone in public.
My mom does that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm too old for this shit.
What else? People being inconsiderate in traffic. Like, where are you, like, people rushing in traffic. And, like, I sometimes am in a rush, but I don't, like, purposely mess with other people's day to be in a rush. Like, if I'm going to affect other people, I'm just not going to be in a rush. It's nothing's that serious. But, you know, that's a older me version saying that.
I'm too old for periods. I'm over this shit. Send me a text message or something.
Yep.
Uncomfortable shoes. Uncomfortable clothes. Going to the store and shopping for sizes that I used to fit back in the day. It's like, it doesn't matter about the size. Get a couple of sizes, get a variety, and whatever fits you best, that's your size. It doesn't matter about the number, whatever you feel most comfortable in. You gain a little bit of weight. It's okay. You don't have to squeeze into old clothes. Not granted, if you have, like, obviously disposable income. Go to the store. Buy you some more comfortable ones.
Yep.
Doesn't matter if it's a size up, 2 sizes up. Doesn't matter.
That's a good segue.
And you know what? Sizes in all different brands are different. So
so true.
Size 10 is not this.
It's even true for toddler shoes. So it must be true for things that actually fit on your body.
See, this is what I don't understand. What standard are they going off of?
Yeah.
And why are they all confused?
Yeah. Why are some standards the same and some are not?
I don't get it.
Yeah. Actually, good segue. What you were talking about before about, like, if your size goes up and you just go buy new clothes, like, don't try to fit into it or lose weight to fit into that clothing.
Right.
There was a conversation on one of the podcasts that I did research for this episode where she was saying that for people who struggle with that, you know, think about it this way. Like, basically you're reframing your mind. Think about it like, okay, if I try to wear this piece of clothing, even though, you know, it may fit, but it's tight and I wish it wasn't so tight, but I'm going to wear it anyway because I really want to fit into it. You're uncomfortable all day long. And that piece of clothing being uncomfortable and squeezing on your body in a way that's not comfortable just reminds you of your body all day long.
Yep.
So why would you do that to yourself when you could buy just a higher size, wear it, and feel more comfortable all day long without a constant reminder that you're in a larger size or that you're not completely happy?
Absolutely.
So actually, one day after I heard that podcast episode, because that's actually really old, I was at work. This was a couple years ago. And my boss had actually made a comment about, like, not fitting into her pants. She can't eat lunch with us today because she can't fit into her pants or something like that.
Oh.
Not so, like, bluntly like the way I'm saying it, but she said something around like that. And if you saw this woman, she's very, very thin. Like, you would not consider her to be fat or overweight.
I did an eye roll.
Yeah. And so I replied to her and I said, "Oh, just sounds like you need a new pair of jeans." I said that and I just walked away.
Damn.
Like, all that tells me is that you just need a new pair of jeans. Like,
yeah. But also, like, you're going to punish. In a way
of, like, sorry, I didn't mean to say it in a way of, like, well, it looks like you need a new pair of jeans. Like,
no.
I said it like,
it was no big deal.
It's
like,
no
okay,
big deal.
yeah,
Like, go get you a new pair of jeans.
Get a new pair of jeans.
Why are you squeezing into those for?
Alrighty.
Why are you worried about that?
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But, like, you deserve breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks.
Yep. You deserve to put food in your body no matter what it is.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And some people don't have access to food.
You know what, though? Is she older? Is she, like, in her 40s? Late 40s, probably?
She's my mama's age.
I hear a lot of older women say kind of stuff like that. Yes. Or, like, God, I shouldn't have eaten that piece of whatever.
Yep. We're going to talk about toxic diet culture language and body image language.
Or, like, what else does she say? I'm thinking about something specifically. No one should have eaten that much for lunch, and it's a normal lunch.
Yeah.
Like, I ate with you.
Yeah.
I also ate
What
that
are you
lunch.
saying about what I ate? Yeah, that's another part of it is, like, you have to be careful what you say, because you, like, whatever you say about yourself, you may be harming someone else in that statement.
Mm-hmm.
And you think you're just talking bad about yourself, but you're actually talking bad about a whole group of people. So, well, if you haven't read the description and you haven't figured out what we're talking about today, because we've just dived directly into it without knowing it. We basically we basically fell down an avalanche into it. We're talking about
body image.
Yes.
That's probably the best way to encompass everything.
I even asked AI, like, what is an umbrella term for all of these topics? And I got basically body acceptance. So we've got quite a few things we're going to talk about today. So we're going to get right into it, obviously. We're going to talk about, we have a quote of the week. We're going to talk about the history of fat phobia. We're going to talk about its roots in racism.
I was like, I can't hear you. Where'd you go?
Yeah, I was like talking to the side. We're talking about its roots in racism. We're going to talk about some misconceptions. We've got some statistics. We're going to talk about body image in men. We're going to talk about disordered eating. So trigger warning for that. I'll put another trigger warning before we get to that section or before we mention it. And then toxic body food language. I just want to give everybody a rundown because it's going to be quite a bit. We're going to talk a little bit about weight size privilege, and then we're going to go over some quotes and body neutral statements that you can use. So stick around because this is going to be doozy. This is going to be a doozy, all right?
Do you have a quote of the week?
I do have a quote of the week. If you haven't heard yet, Angelica makes fun of me saying that because I say it too fast.
Quote of the week.
It's
like one word. Quote of the week.
Quote of the week.
Quote of the week. Quote of the week. You have this tone too. Quote of the week. Quote of the week.
Yeah, it's like deep and like whipped.
Quote of the week. I said quote of the whip. Quote of the week.
It's the quote of the whip.
All right.
Quote of the week. I think when we stop sexualizing ourselves and instead choose to honor our bodies for what they are, which is like the vessels for our souls, we can separate what society wants from our body and what we need from our body. So that's a big theme in today's episode. So.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about what body acceptance is, and then we'll get into the history. This is actually a definition. Body acceptance, this term broadly refers to the practice or philosophy of respecting and appreciating all bodies, regardless of shape, size, or appearance, and advocating for the right of individuals to have positive body experiences free from discrimination and societal pressures related to appearance and weight. So basically, loving everybody, but not just loving, accepting, not discriminating against, giving equal rights to, equity. So I'm going to read this section. AI wrote it, but it's very interesting. And this is something that I never knew, that fat phobia actually originated a very, very long time ago, and actually what played a big role in racism and like slave culture and stuff like that. So stay tuned. All right. Fat phobia, or the societal fear and discrimination against fatness, intersects with racism in several ways, reflecting broader systems of oppression and discrimination. Here are key points highlighting how fat phobia is rooted in racism. Colonial histories and beauty standards. European colonialism spread Western ideals of beauty that included slimness as a marker of wealth, health, and attractiveness. This perspective was imposed on colonized populations, often contrasting with their own cultural norms, where larger bodies were historically valued.
Yeah, why did it change and how?
So it originated to like, if you were plump, if you had more weight on you, more fat on you, you were considered to be rich because you could afford a bunch of food. But then they switched it around, and the reason for that is because they wanted to other Black people in a way that would convince people that it's okay to keep them as slaves.
And they did with the fat?
They said because they equated fat with lazy, nasty.
But I don't understand how that like just switches in a society.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
I mean, I guess we can kind of look at it where back in like the early 2000s, you wanted like a slim booty. You didn't want this big ass. Like having a big ass means you were a fat ass.
Yeah, that's true.
And now they want a fat ass.
Yeah, now it's like sought after more than the other. Yeah, that's true.
I just think it's so interesting. Like, who decides this? Society.
Right. a bunch of people.
Which is us.
Which is us. This imposition reinforced the idea that non-Western, especially Black and Indigenous bodies were inferior or deviant if they did not conform to Western slimness ideals. Historical and ongoing systemic racism has limited economic opportunities and access to resources for many radicalized communities. This can lead to food deserts, which you know what a food desert is, right? It explains it. And reliance on cheaper, less healthy options. Lack of access to affordable, nutritious food contributes to the higher rates of obesity in some racialized communities, which then reinforces stereotypes and discrimination. So they're saying, like, for the people that would argue that Black communities would have more unhealthy people or more overweight people, it's actually a systemic issue because those communities are marginalized against or discriminated against, and they then don't have access to healthy food. So then it's the cycle.
Mm-hmm. Keep you down.
Mm-hmm. Medical bias and stereotyping. Medical professionals often exhibit bias against fat individuals, assuming that weight alone determines health outcomes without considering other factors. Studies have shown that Black, Indigenous, and people of color patients are less likely to receive appropriate medical care and treatment, including for conditions related to weight due to racial biases. So, like, it started in colonizing and just trickled down all the way to everyday bias. Okay, so something you may not know about is that in 1969 there was a fat rights movement called the Fat Acceptance Movement.
When was this?
1969.
Wow.
The NAAFA itself started in 1969 in New York City, although it was originally called the National Association to Aid Fat Americans. Engineer Bill Fabry had tired all of the discrimination his overweight wife faced and started the group as an advocate for the big bone. Wow, why did they word it like that?
I hate when my ex used to say, "You're not fat, you're just big bone."
Oh.
I'm like, I don't like that either.
Yeah. So there was a whole movement in the 60s called the Fat Acceptance Movement. And that's when we started to see the shift from, completely shaming fat people to kind of like inching towards acceptance now, like many other things in life. All right, we're going to go over some misconceptions. First one is obesity is slowly caused by overeating and laziness. Reality. While diet and physical activity play a role, obesity is influenced by complex factors, including genetics, metabolism, socioeconomic status, mental health, and environmental factors. Okay, we were just talking about socioeconomic status. So, like, if you are poor or if you're in a lower tax bracket, basically, then you don't have access to healthier food. So you may not be able to. So, the cheap food is frozen TV dinners and frozen pizzas and, stuff that's processed and whatever. And whatever you have to say about those kinds of foods. But that shows that healthy foods are not as accessible. Think about, you could buy probably 7 or 8, I'll say 6 or 7 TV dinners, frozen TV dinners, before you could buy a bag of grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a bag of grapes is like $10 these days, depending on how heavy it is? Grapes are so fucking expensive. Next one. All fat people are unhealthy, which we kind of just talked about. Health is multifaceted and cannot be determined solely by body size. Many fat individuals can be metabolically healthy, while some thin individuals may have health issues.
Mm-hmm.
The next misconception is fat people lack willpower and discipline. Reality. Weight is not solely a matter of willpower. Factors such as genetics, hormones, and psychological factors also influence body weight and eating behaviors. Did you know that if you had a big trauma in your life, that it could be a factor in your weight or the way your body presents? Angelica just smacked herself with her mic in the face.
Why did I do that?
Yeah. You just do it in front.
I thought I was closer this way. It was It was so soft too when it hit me. I couldn't even be mad about it. Like, that's my bad.
That's funny. Okay, the next one. Fat people are a burden on the healthcare system. While obesity can contribute to health risks, stigmatizing fat individuals can lead to avoidance of healthcare, exacerbating health issues. Discrimination, not weight itself, is the real burden. Damn, that last sentence.
Damn. And like you said, like that's very dangerous. Like for someone to not get healthcare because they're scared of the stigma.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The next one, fat people are lazy and inactive. Reality. Body size does not indicate lifestyle choices. Many fat individuals lead active lives while others may face barriers such as accessibility or discrimination in fitness spaces. Discrimination in fitness spaces. Have you ever seen the videos online that are like, it's like a fat person working out and in the comments there's someone going, go work out or go to the gym, lose weight. It's like, I'm literally working out in the video. And you would comment something like that? Like almost every fat person workout video I've seen, either someone's calling out people for saying that or people have said that in the comments.
What the hell?
It's insane.
I'm literally here.
The hate for fat people is literally insane.
Yeah. Again, kind of how I said, like, that'll make people not want to get healthcare. That'll make people not want to go to the gym.
Exactly. Or post their journey online, which they fully deserve to do.
Yeah. There's a space for everybody.
Okay. Almost grabbed your phone. Fatness is always a choice. Reality. Body size is influenced by a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, socioeconomic factors. Judgments about personal responsibility oversimplify these complexities. That's a fallacy. Oversimplifying. Fatness is a sign of poor self-control or psychological issues. Mental health and self-control are not determined by body size. Fat individuals may struggle with mental health concerns unrelated to their weight. Being thin means you can't possibly hate how you look or that you don't struggle with weight in some way. That's a big one. Okay, so have you seen the show 600 Pound Life?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, it's hard not to get sucked into it once you start watching it. But I love a good transformation. So like any show that has a transformation, I really get sucked into.
You really do like those shows a lot.
So, there was a case that was a girl that she was like over 600 pounds and she was like living very miserably, like couldn't get out of bed on her own and her family had to help her live basically. And she was just really mentally unwell too because of like being depressed and stuff. And she goes to see this doctor that's the head of the show and he gets her to lose all this weight. And by the way, she's like 22. She's very young. She's very, very, very young. Like probably one of the youngest on the show.
Wow.
And she loses all this weight. She does a really great job. She gets her skin surgeries. She gets her like gastric sleeve or whatever to help her lose weight. And then she gets down to her goal weight, which the doctor set with her. But then she starts losing more than her goal weight. And her face starts looking really bony and she just doesn't look well. Like she looked healthy, 50 pounds ago, but now she's still losing. And it's actually like a misconception that like once you get to your goal weight, like you're good. You can just live your life. But some people go from weighing 600 pounds to then being anorexic, like not feeding themselves at all because they fear so badly going back to that weight. And her story was just so like sad to see that like she finally got the life that she deserved to start living. And then she has to have another battle. And so of course, like the doctor was sending her to a psychologist and stuff like that so that she could work through it. But that happens. And I didn't know that happens until I saw that episode. You want to do disordered eating?
Yes, I'm going to fall asleep.
So there's disordered eating and there are eating disorders. And Angelica's going to tell us about the definitions of the eating disorders that there are. Before you research this, how many eating disorders did you think there were?
Ooh. So I knew about anorexia and bulimia and binge eating. So that's 3.
Those are the only 3 I knew about.
Yeah, I think that was it.
And binge eating is basically a part of bulimia. So it was basically just 2 for me.
So yeah, so just 2.
I thought you said religious too.
So really, it's just two.
It's religious binge eating too.
So I'm going to give you guys some statistics, and as these disorders are brought up, I'll go to the definition. Excuse me.
Excuse me, microphone, move out of my way.
So these are general eating disorder statistics. So 9% of the U.S. population, or 28.8 million Americans, will have an eating disorder in their lifetime.
28 million. Almost 29 million. Yeah. 29 million people.
Americans.
Oh, Americans. I mean, that's pretty specific, but they're still people.
No, I know. I just meant like...
Americans are people too.
I know, but specifically in the U.S.
Yeah. American says to an American. Americans are people too.
The overall lifetime prevalence of eating disorders is estimated to be 8.6% among females and 4.7% among males. Do you know what prevalence is?
Huh?
Do you know what prevalence means?
Yeah.
I didn't. Googled it. It's commonness.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't know if I could have told you, gave you a definition, but I knew what it meant in context.
Yeah, so the overall lifetime commonness of eating disorders is estimated to be 8.6% among females and 4.7% among males, so almost half.
Wow.
With guys.
Yeah.
Every 52 minutes, one person dies as a direct consequence of an eating disorder. I didn't know that one. That was heartbreaking.
Oh my God.
Every 52 minutes.
This is that goes to show how serious eating disorders are compared to other disease.
Yeah.
Compared to alcoholism or anything else.
Mm-hmm. Global eating disorder prevalence increased from 3.5 to 7.8 between 2000 and 2018. I wonder what it is now.
Social media.
Ooh, yes, that was
It's social media.
Social media.
Yep.
Absolutely. 22% of children and adolescents worldwide show disordered eating. 22% of children and adolescents.
Hold on, I have something to add to that. That's really relevant. Hold on. The number one risk factor for eating disorders is weight-based shaming and dieting in childhood.
I remember I had this friend named Stephanie, and when she was 10 years old, she told me her mom put her on her diet.
Jeanette McCurdy. Her mom put her on a diet. But it's not just diet. It's sit up straight, your fat's sticking out. Or are you eating another piece of pizza?
Yeah, she starved her. And she made her run every day.
Well, I'm saying there's that extreme, but there's also these little comments that parents make. Oh, you're going to eat another piece of pizza, or sit up straight because your belly's sticking out, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty extreme because it was at the childcare, and the mom worked at the childcare, so the mom knew exactly what she was eating and would be around, so she would know if she didn't eat what she was supposed to. And
it's so sad to put that burden on a child.
Yeah, she was
10. Think about that.
She was 10 years old, and I mean, even then, I'm like, what are you gonna lose? Mm-hmm. You have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. And I think she did lose it, end up 10 or 15 pounds, something like that. Not a lot, but on her, it was a huge difference.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even she had fat necessarily or a pudge. She had a 10-year-old body. That's it.
Yeah.
Literally it.
Yeah. When you're 10, you're starting to fill out.
Mm-hmm.
And
she was short. So
even though she didn't have anything to lose, parents like that are terrified that their kid will end up fat.
Yeah.
Because that's the worst possible thing that they could be.
Yeah. Over 3.3 million healthy life years worldwide are lost yearly because of eating disorders. Mm. Eating disorders have the second highest mortality rate of any psychiatric illness behind opiate addiction. So it's opiate addiction and then eating disorders.
Well, and eating disorders are an addiction in their own sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that individuals with higher body weight have a 2.45 times greater chance of engaging in disordered eating behaviors as patients of normal weight, such patients receive a clinical diagnosis of an eating disorder half as frequently as patients with normal weight or underweight.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So they go undiagnosed. 1 year commonness of anorexia nervosa is 0.16% for females and 0.09% for males. Now, just to give you the actual definition of anorexia nervosa, It's also called just anorexia. This eating disorder makes you obsess about your weight and food. If you have this problem, you may have a distorted body image. You may see yourself as overweight even though you have a very low body weight. Mm-hmm. With anorexia, you may use abnormal eating habits to cope with stress, anxiety, and low self-esteem. Limiting food may give you a sense of control over your life.
Yes, limiting food, counting calories.
Yeah.
I was going to say that I heard on one of the podcasts I did research on that men actually go severely underdiagnosed for eating disorders because gym culture, diet culture for them is way more normalized than it is for us. And so you'll see a man
bulking, cutting,
a man that's on a very strict diet and maybe eating under his calories that he should be eating for that, for his weight and height and everything. And that goes underdiagnosed because it's like, oh, that's normal. Yeah. Or like working out for 4 hours straight is normal. That's not normal. That's not okay for your body. Not every day anyway. Like, yeah. Like I something to compare that to would be like a basketball game. That's like a 4-hour workout, but I don't even think it's 4 hours, like maybe 2.5 hours, but they don't do that every single day. Ugh. Okay, go ahead.
A meta-analysis found that atypical anorexia nervosa, or AAN, occurs more frequently than anorexia nervosa in community samples. However, fewer individuals with AAN are referred or admitted to special care for eating disorders. So, atypical anorexia nervosa is used to describe an individual with a history of living in a larger body who becomes preoccupied with weight or shape and loses a considerable amount of weight, but nonetheless remains in a range considered healthy.
So like drops a lot of weight unhealthily? Is that what they're saying?
I mean, yes, they do lose. So it's a person who's heavier set who loses weight, not necessarily in the healthy way. I mean, they become obsessed with it. Yeah. So they drop down to a quote unquote healthy weight, but they're still not satisfied. Yeah. Kind of like how you're saying, like even if you reach your goal weight, that doesn't mean you're gonna be happy.
Right. Yeah, and I was going to say something to that and I lost it. It'll come back to me. Oh, a lot of disordered eating is based around control and what was the other thing we were just talking about?
Self-esteem?
Like obsession over, like obsessing over it, obsessive thoughts about it. Like most of disordered eating and actual diagnosable eating disorders are based in obsessing over what you're eating, how much you're eating, how much you're losing, whatever.
Okay. 1 year commonness of bulimia nervosa is 0.32 for females and 0.05 for males. So bulimia nervosa is an eating disorder characterized by regular, often secretive bouts of overeating, followed by self-induced vomiting or purging, strict dieting, or extreme exercise associated with a persistent and excessive concern with body weight. It's also, in other words, it's an eating disorder in which a large quantity of food is consumed in a short period of time, often followed by feelings of guilt or shame.
So it's like you're getting the dopamine and the rush from all the food that you're eating that you love, but then you feel guilty about how much weight you might put on from eating that, and even may believe that you're going to put on multiple pounds from just eating 4 or 5 things, and then you expel it so that you don't weigh anything, and then may even obsess over weighing yourself afterwards. Yeah, that's...
people with bulimia, they're more prone to having...
Oh, yeah, like GI issues.
Yeah, because it's all burned up with the acid.
Yep.
1 year commonness of binge eating disorder is 0.96 for females and 0.26 for males. So people with a binge eating disorder regularly eat more food than most people. They often eat quickly, eat when they are stressed or upset instead of just when they're hungry, and feel like they can't stop eating even when they're uncomfortably full. They also binge at least once a week for several months. I feel like sometimes I have binge eating. Sometimes. There are some statistics. Do you want to talk about this is good. Hang on. In a nationally representative U.S. study based based study, up to 23% of individuals with binge eating disorder had attempted suicide, and virtually all, 94%, reported lifetime mental health symptoms. 70% mood disorders, 68% substance abuse disorders, 59% anxiety disorders, 49% borderline personality disorder, and 32% post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, I mean, like, all of those that you named are like major mental health disorders. I would be surprised if the one main thing in your life that's always constant, food, would not be involved in that in some way.
Yep. I got a couple more.
I also have other kinds of disordered eating that's not like a diagnosable.
Oh, I have that too. I was about to say it.
Go ahead.
The most common eating disorder is other specified feeding or eating disorder. Is that what you're talking about? OSFED is with a 1 year commonness of 1.18% for females and 0.27 for males. So OSFED stands for other specified feeding or eating disorder. People with OSFED have symptoms that are similar to one or more eating disorders but may not meet all the criteria for these conditions. A person with OSFED may present with many of the symptoms of other eating disorders such as anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, or binge eating disorder, but will not meet the full criteria for diagnosis of these disorders. This does not mean that the eating disorder is any less serious or dangerous.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a bit scary.
Yeah.
While there is limited research on the prevalence of avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, or ARFID, studies have found that between 0.5% and 5% of children and adults in the general population have this disorder. Do you know what that is?
What was it? ARFID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
only because of the girl that's been going viral.
Yes, Hannah. I love her. I'm actually going to pull up her Instagram. But yes, children with ARFID are extremely selective eaters and sometimes have little interest in eating food. They may eat a limited variety of preferred foods, which can lead to poor growth and poor nutrition. And then I have Hannah on Instagram. So I have her link to her Instagram, and it's this little girl named Hannah. Hannah. And I'll pull up her Instagram. It is My ARFID Life. And she, every time she posts a video, she's like, today I'll be trying cucumbers. Yeah. And she'll say something like, either this is my first time eating cucumbers, or she'll be like, the last time I ate them, this is how I felt. I think she's like 5 or 6. And she just has a video of her eating whatever food that day. And she has like a list of foods she wants to try. And
sometimes it's not like vegetables and fruits. It could be like a kind of bread. It could be like sourdough bread. She'd try that. Or peanut butter crackers. Like things that most people love or even just like.
Or don't think twice about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at the end when she like, there are some videos that are kind of hard to watch a little bit because you can tell that she's like struggling mentally. Like
she pushes through anyway.
She pushes through each, I mean, you know, she tries her hardest. But man, like, I love her. She's so inspiring. And at the end, she'll give her thoughts like, oh, well, I didn't like this, or I did like this, or maybe I'll try it like this next time.
Or she'll say, like, usually it's texture issue. Like, I didn't like how it was too mushy or whatever.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. I think I have a couple more.
Of eating disorder? Okay.
Less than 6% of people with an eating disorder are medically underweight. And then these are like people of color real quick. A 2019 study found that Hispanic, Latino, Latina, Black, African American, and Asian Americans are more likely to engage in disordered eating behaviors than their white counterparts. Adolescents who experience racial/ethnic discrimination are 3 times more likely to have binge eating disorders than those who have not experienced racial/ethnic discrimination. The societal value placed on lightness of skin color is related to body dissatisfaction and binge eating amongst Black girls. People of color with eating disorders are half as likely to be diagnosed or receive treatment. That's fucked.
Wow.
Hang on. Food insecurity is associated with 1.67 higher odds of binge eating disorder or subclinical BED, and 131 higher odds of binge eating symptoms in early adolescence.
That makes sense because if you have food scarcity at home when you're a kid, and then you grow up and you have access to food, then you will binge because you feel
you don't know when this is gonna end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
when it's going to get scarce again.
Mm-hmm. LGBTQ youth who have ever been diagnosed with an eating disorder had nearly 4 times greater odds of attempting suicide in the past year compared to those who have never suspected nor had an eating disorder diagnosis. LGBT adults and adolescents experience greater incidence of eating disorders and disordered eating behaviors than their heterosexual and cisgender counterparts. Nearly 9 in 10, so 87% LGBTQ youth reported being dissatisfied with their body. That's actually a lot, so I'm going to stop right there. But I was going to say something else. Oh. And again, well, not again. I never said that. This is from the National Eating Disorders.org website.
Okay. I've got a list of things that are considered disordered eating, but do not qualify for criteria for eating disorders. 1 is restrictive eating, limiting the amount of types of food consumed, often with the intention of controlling weight or body shape. This can include skipping meals, avoiding certain food groups, like carbs or fats, or severely limiting caloric intake. 2, binge eating, consuming large quantities of food, like Angelica just said. Compulsive eating in response to emotional triggers rather than physical hunger cues. This can involve eating when stressed, anxious, bored, or sad, and may not necessarily involve binging, but often leads to consuming excessive amounts of food. Orthorexia, obsessive preoccupation with eating quote-unquote healthy foods to the point where it becomes detrimental to overall well-being. This can lead to extreme dietary restrictions, social isolation, and anxiety related to food choices. That's a big one because it can even affect you socially if you were to decide not to go out to a restaurant because you can't eat. There's no healthy choices for you. There are quote-unquote healthy choices. So you don't go hang out with your friends or whatever. Night eating syndrome, consuming a significant portion of daily caloric intake during nighttime hours, often waking up specifically to eat. This can disrupt normal sleep patterns and may be associated with emotional distress. Wow. Like midnight snack?
Yeah.
But I've never heard of people waking up to go eat.
No.
Only eating before bed.
Yeah.
Purging, engaging in behaviors to compensate for food consumed, such as self-inducing vomiting, misuse of laxatives or diuretics. Oh yeah, I forgot that's a part of it too. Or excessive exercise. Diuretics. Or laxatives. Yep.
I don't know what that word means, but I know the other one.
Diuretics is to lose water weight.
Oh. Interesting.
So it pulls water. It makes you pee a lot. These behaviors are often driven by a desire to control weight or alleviate guilt after eating. And then the last one. Oh, I think you said this one. We're back, and we're going to talk about body and food language. So you may hear this toxic body or food language when you are around friends and family. You may have heard it from your parents growing up or family members growing up, and you want to be careful not to pass this language down to your children because, again, shaming around food and weight is the number one cause of eating disorders. Okay, first example. I'm on a strict diet. I can't eat carbs, sugar, fat, or whatever. This implies that certain foods are inherently bad or forbidden, promoting a restrictive and potentially unhealthy approach to eating. The next one. I need to cleanse, detox after that meal. This suggests that occasional indulgence or normal eating requires purging or detoxing, reinforcing the idea that food consumption is inherently toxic or dirty. It literally nourishes your body. That's what it's for. I'm being good today. I'll have a cheat day later. Creates a moralistic view of food choices, labeling some foods as virtuous, good, and other foods as indulgent, cheat, which can lead to guilt and shame around eating. What's crazy about shame around certain foods and moralizing certain foods is that it actually causes the cycle it's trying to prevent. So when you say, or when you're like, okay, I'm going to start a new diet, I'm not going to cheat, whatever. And then one day you do cheat. You say pizza's not involved, you're not supposed to be doing carbs, and then you have pizza. And then you go into a shame spiral, which causes you to feel guilty. And what does guilt cause? more cheating. So then you continue to eat more foods and binge them or have unhealthy eating habits. And then that causes more shame. And it turns into a spiral until you can start your diet again. And then you do it again and again and again.
Oh my God, that's what I have.
It's literally like a trauma bond.
Yeah.
I would agree. I thought of you when I was reading that.
Oh, shit. I do really, really good. Like I'll be good for like 3 weeks and then I fall off. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm already off. So
you're already in that sentence using toxic language. I will be really good for a whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Being good should be not obsessing over what you're eating, not
the weeks
obsessing more over what you're eating.
The weeks that I only go to the gym for 2 days and I eat like shit, I'm bad those days.
Yeah.
That week.
Like in your head, you're bad. Remember earlier you were saying, I was like, oh, did you go back to the gym because of this other story that we won't talk about? And you were like, you were like, no, I didn't. And I was like, oh, okay. Cause like, I wanted to know if she saw someone there. And she was like, well, I didn't go because of this and because of that. I'm like, you don't have to justify it to me. Like, I don't care if you went to the gym or not.
I was like, no, I have to justify it to myself.
Yeah, you're justifying it to yourself, which is also unhealthy. Like, if you didn't want to go to the gym, you didn't want to go to the gym. It doesn't matter why.
This guy was low-key stalking me.
Well, that matters.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't matter why you didn't want to go.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you bad because you didn't go.
Oh my God. At my old job, I had my coworker, she was on the Weight Watchers and she was like on the phone where you can like scan whatever food and it tells you whatever.
Which is considered restricting.
I will never forget this. I had just finished a yogurt and I threw it. So like we were in these cubes and her and I shared a trash can, if you will. It was kind of in the middle. And I threw it away. And this girl pulls it out of the trash can to scan it and then proceeds to tell me why she can't eat it. Or saying like, oh yeah, it has way too many calories for me. I could not eat this.
Oh my God.
And I'm
like, I feel so bad for her though, because think about how miserably she was living her life during that moment.
Oh yeah.
Obsessing over every single thing she put in her mouth.
Oh, that? And I told her, I had to tell her like, look, I'm...
Motherfucker.
If you know me, you know I like share all my meals with Bolin, but goddamn, like some things I just want myself.
Yeah.
Look, now he's not interested in me. But I'd have a talk with her and say like, you know, I understand that you're on this journey, and if that's how you want to go about whatever your health goals is, like I support you. But you cannot and will not do that to me.
Yeah.
Like you cannot grab my stuff or talk about what I'm eating and how you can't do that because blah blah blah, like,
and without consent. Like I didn't ask you to comment on what I'm eating,
because it was almost telling me like eating yogurt was bad. I should not have eaten that.
And yogurt's like one of the most healthy meals.
I was like, wait,
yeah, one of the most healthy things you can eat.
I thought I was doing like something healthy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. The next one's, I've been bad, I need to work out extra hard tomorrow. Associates food choices with morality and self-worth, promoting punishment through excessive exercise as a way to compensate for eating.
Or if I know I'm going to go out to dinner, I won't eat lunch. Or I'll eat like 2 tangerines.
Which is restricting. Skipping meals restricting. Okay. I can't believe I ate that. I feel so guilty. Encourages feelings of guilt and shame around food choices, contributing to disordered eating behaviors and negative self-perception. I'll start my diet tomorrow, next week, after the holidays. Delays or postpones healthier eating habits, perpetuating a cycle of on and off dieting rather than sustainable lifestyle changes.
Yup. Holidays are the worst for me, dude. Like,
but that's the thing. Like, you should be able to enjoy whatever you want during the holidays, like, or on your birthday. Like, just enjoy whatever you want.
There is this one winter where I gained 20 pounds from doing whatever I want, aka eating tamales every day. And you know what? It was a great winter.
And you were happy, weren't you?
I was happy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. I'm so fat, I need to lose weight fast. Uses derogatory language to describe body size, equating thinness with attractiveness or worthiness.
Ooh.
And promoting... Bolin! I'm saying something really important right now.
Bolin, there's nothing, babies.
All gone.
Oh.
He did, didn't he?
Sat on me.
Okay. Uses derogatory language to describe body size, equating thinness with attractiveness or worthiness, and promoting crash diets or extreme measures for rapid weight loss.
Tell me why I had this thought, oh, I'm going to meet their friends in 2 weeks. What can I do to make sure I look and feel my best that day? What can I control in 2 weeks? Okay, every day I'm not going to skip the gym or, Monday through Thursday or whatever. I'm not going to eat sweets. I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do this and I'm going to do this. Or I have a concert in a couple of weeks and I want to wear this. How can I look and feel my best? What can I do what can I control?
Yeah. And what you can do to feel your best is wear clothes that you feel comfortable in. Not try to force yourself to conform to clothes that maybe don't fit as well and that you'd be uncomfortable in.
It's hard because I just bought these new pair of pants 2 months ago maybe, and it fit me perfect. And I go through these really good, quote unquote, good times where I'm really good at the gym and my body feels different and I can see definition and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll go off of it and then I get all squishy again. Well, I tried on these pants that I wanted to wear for a concert and they're tight. And I'm like, fuck.
Have you considered that the squishiness coincides with your period?
I am on my period. Are you telling me once I'm off my period I won't be so squishy?
Could be. I mean, it's bloating or
oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
That's why weight is related to hormones.
Yeah, and then I think I tried it on a couple days afterwards, and I was like, oh yeah, this fits fine. But I had a moment of freak out, oh my God, I gained so much weight. How could I let myself do this? I haven't even worn the pants for the first time. Just 5 minutes of pure fuck.
It could also be a touch of dysmorphia as well. You feeling like it doesn't fit when it really does. You know what I mean?
I have really bad body dysmorphia. Not really bad, I guess.
What's the next one?
Now he's fucking his bed. Bed fucker.
Motherfucker.
Does that look good?
I'm going to skip meals to lose weight faster. Promotes dangerous behaviors such as skipping meals or severely restricting food intake, which can lead to nutritional deficiencies and eating disorders. You can have a heart attack from not feeding yourself enough.
Yep. Or not having enough fiber or iron. You can be what's the opposite of diarrhea?
Come on, constipated?
Constipate.
I said constipated.
You can be constipated.
Yeah, that's true.
That's awful.
Yep. Just the constipation alone is awful. Why would you want that for yourself?
Hell no. I had a constipation really bad for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. And I went to the doctor because I was freaking out.
Did you take laxatives and stuff?
I didn't take laxatives, but I took prunes and I even bought these vitamins that are supposed to help your digestive tract along. And my stomach was so bloated and I would do these twists and I could feel something in my belly hard as a rock.
Yeah.
And I was constipated. And
you didn't already say it.
It was awful. So what I ended up, I don't know what caused it, but I ended up not eating. Obviously I ate, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go without eating, but I ate significantly less.
You're living, so.
Yeah. So, but because I didn't know, and then I would be starving, but anything I ate would make me feel worse.
Well, and probably the starving would make the constipation worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I say all of these, health tricks or whatever, even the keto diet, yes, you can lose body mass, but you're putting more stress on your heart, your joints, and I don't know about the joints part, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or also
your joints, because you're not getting enough calcium.
Yes, but I was also going to say people who did a lot of sports in high school, what was, sorry, this is going to sound really ignorant, but what was the point of being so active? Because now your bones hurt.
Yeah.
Your joints hurt.
Yeah, that's true. So my next...
Sorry, it was totally worth it. I get it. I'm moving child anyway.
My next section is fat phobic language. First one is, she's so lazy and unhealthy because she's overweight. The statement assumes that weight alone determines a person's health and character. We already know that. He should just eat less and exercise more if he wants to lose weight. This oversimplifies weight management. We know that. She would be so pretty if she lost weight.
It kills me.
Thinks beauty and worth to body size. Links beauty and worth to body size. Reinforcing the idea that thinness is the only desirable standard of beauty. And that's just not true. There are many people who love many different sizes of people.
Or you're really pretty for your size.
Yeah. Or you have a really pretty face.
Oh my God, I hate when they're like, oh my God, I'm so fat. No, you're not. You're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say I was ugly.
Yes, I was going to bring that up. That people will reflect how they connect fatness by just, if you just say, oh my God, I'm so fat, or me as a fat person, blah, 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 blah. And they'll be like, you're not fat. You're beautiful. And it's like, I didn't say I was ugly.
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm fat, which is a factual statement.
Which leads me to know that you relate beauty
you
with.
think being fat is not beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
and you felt like you needed to reassure me that it was. Fat people are the drain on the healthcare system. We talked about that already. You're brave for wearing that at your size.
Excuse me.
Implies
wait. Okay, go ahead.
Implies that it takes courage to be seen in certain clothing or engage in activities based on body size, reinforcing societal shame around larger bodies.
Well, never mind. I lost it.
Oh.
Like I had it and then I was like, huh? Yeah.
Well, you're brave for wearing that for your size? I thought that might bring
Oh my God. Wait, did I
choked on a fly, didn't you?
Did I tell you about the breast cancer survivor photo?
Mm-mm.
I didn't?
No.
Okay, so I have this coworker. I talk about my coworkers a lot. I love them, but sometimes they say some comments and I'm like, I can't let you just say that.
It's going to be addressed.
So I had this coworker and we had gotten mail, and I think it was like the Times, what's the business? Sorry, the IBJ, Indianapolis Business Journal. Yeah, the IBJ came in, and on the back there's a picture of this woman wearing like a brownish, like a dark brown dress.
Okay. And
I mean, she's your typical white woman, brown hair, brown dress, or whatever. And my
typical white woman, brown hair, brown dress.
I mean, I'm just no. What I meant to say by that is like there was nothing that like stood out. Like nothing that would make me think twice about looking at her picture.
It was just funny because you said brown hair, brown dress instead of like brown hair, brown eyes. Typical white woman, brown hair, brown dress.
My coworker says she like looks at it and she's like, "Oh my God, she should not be wearing that." And I was like, "What do you mean?" Mm-hmm. And she goes, "Well, look at her." And I'm like, "Oh."
Sorry, that was an inside joke. Angelica, see, I told you if you start, you can't stop.
No, it's because I told you I was going to say that in the podcast, and I haven't.
And I beat you to it. I beat you to it. That's funny. Oh my God.
She said to look at her. And I said, "Yo, what's wrong with her?" And she said, she could not pinpoint it, or at least verbalize to me what was wrong with the picture, because I kept asking her, like, what's wrong with it? I don't understand. I don't see what you see. Can you be more specific? And then she goes, okay, well, like, for one, like, she just has no boobs, so she just doesn't look good wearing that dress. And I said something like, what? Like, you have to have a certain boob size for her clothes to look right on people? Like, right. And I said, just randomly, I was like, what if she had breast cancer or something? Yeah. Like, how dare you, like, judge another woman? Yeah. First of all. Second of all, for breast size? Like, what? Yeah. And I said something like, she said, well, another example, she was like, she's wearing polka dots. It just doesn't look good for her body type. And I'm like, doesn't look good for her body type or your body type? Because she was like, I would never wear polka dots. I'm like, okay, that's great that you wouldn't.
Right. There's nothing to do with her. Right.
Yeah. So she almost like couldn't really pinpoint what was wrong, or every time she would say something, I would rebuttal it. And then I looked closely at like the smaller caption. Yeah. And it said something like, Amanda, 29, breast cancer survivor.
And you told your coworker?
And I was like, look at this. Mm-hmm. You're going to hell. Yeah. I was like, you just made fun of a woman with breast cancer. Yeah. Talking about she doesn't look good in that dress.
Because she doesn't have big boobs. And what'd she say?
She started laughing. Not laughing like funny, but like
nervously.
And I was like, wow, you're going to hell. So have fun down there.
Hopefully that had a lasting impact on her and she stopped talking like that.
Yeah, she's made a couple of other comments before. Like when she first started working there, she said something like, I hate when bigger, heavier set women wear leggings. I don't want to see your cottage cheese. That's always stuck with me. And I brought it up to her, I think, in that conversation. I was like, remember when you said this? And she goes, you know what I mean. And I'm like, I don't. Because I don't give a fuck.
Even if I did, why would you say that? Don't look at people's cottage cheese.
She was like, you know what I'm talking about. You know those girls. And I'm like, no, I don't care. I don't care what they wear.
Yep. I don't concern myself with what other people do that much.
I know. Whatever. Motherfucker.
I'm gonna have to cut some of those out because it's gonna be really annoying.
No.
When we listen back, we're gonna be like, we are so fucking annoying.
Take a drink. Take a shot every time I say motherfucker.
Yeah, but we gotta say that at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Okay, here's a couple more.
Kelsey's such a party. What's that word?
I don't know.
Party pooper.
Oh.
Party
pooper.
Motherfucker.
I would never let myself get fat like that.
Oh.
It implies moral superiority based on body size, reinforcing the idea that fatness is a personal failing rather than a complex issue influenced by multiple factors. Next one.
I used to have this really toxic thinking of like, man, if I was just her size, I would go to the gym every day. Not because they're big, but because they're small. But I look at them like, man, if you just go to the gym, like you'd be so toned.
Yeah.
If you would just if I were you, I would go to the gym and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, but I am me. And I can go to the gym, but I choose not to.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I was going to say to that.
Well,
okay. So I have some quotes that are from a couple of the podcast episodes I listened to. I will link all of the podcast episodes I listened to. They're all three of them are great. I highly recommend them. I'll link them in the show notes. And I have a couple of other like websites and books and stuff that I'll link. So what can we do? And the main thing we can do is reframe our mind so that we can basically heal society from the stigma, the toxic talk, the toxic language, how we raise our kids. We can reframe our mind so that it's not so automatic to be like, oh, I was so bad today. Or it's not so automatic to find parts of social media completely okay to be like, for instance, I actually, when I was researching this topic, I saw a TikTok that was guys on the street asking girls to rate themselves and then asking those girls to rate men. And before looking all this stuff up and researching this, I never thought twice about it. Like, yeah, I would never do that. I would never be the person on the street being stopped and asked that question because I would never do it. But I never thought how toxic that is to everyone that watches those videos. Asking someone to rate themselves and enforcing the narrative of like, you are a number on a rating scale, anyone, and that you should rate the people you date or you would consider dating on a number scale in that way. It's just very judgmental, the type of video that I'm talking about. I hope you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. I just assume, I think I see more of the side of like, there's this one video where a guy asked a girl, like, rate yourself. And she said, I'm a 10. And he goes, are you sure about that? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the meaning. Like, she has confidence.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the kind of videos that about the rating. And that's what I took away is like, it's so subjective. Like, everyone's going to have their own opinion about themselves.
Right. And I think those videos are trying to push the narrative that's objective.
Yeah, exactly.
That there is a societal standard for beauty and there's not.
Yeah. And like,
there shouldn't be.
The girl that he asked that said she was a 10, she wasn't. Oh,
it was a race car or some.
She wasn't like your typical conventional beautiful girl, type thing.
Yeah. Like blonde hair, blue eyes and stuff. Okay. So I'm just going to read this quote. It's kind of like a dialogue and then we'll just talk about it.
Hang on a second. If y'all haven't seen Bridgerton Part 2, I bring this up because Penelope or Nicola, I forget what her last name is. She's a plus size girl. And, Kathy was telling me how like if she wasn't written into the books to be a little bit bigger, then they probably would have casted like a skinny or a smaller presenting because all the other people, every other person in that show is thin. Yeah. Except for this new girl in the newest season. But anyways, she has a sex scene. I can tell you what time and everything. I'm just kidding. It's
You've told us on the pod before.
No, that was fingering. This is actual.
Oh.
This is the whole shebang. It's season 3, episode 5. just start at the beginning. Anyway, but so you see her boobs and like her tummy and a little bit of her thighs. And I remember she was doing an interview and she was asked the question, like, how does it feel to watch someone with a body like you on screen or something like that? And she was like, a body like mine.
Yeah.
My body's it's a body.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing special about it. There's nothing, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, we should see more of this. This is normalized. Yeah.
It's normal. Yeah.
It's normal. It's normal. Yeah. It's normal.
Yeah. It's normal. Yeah. That's right. It's normal
right.
if you didn't know it's normal.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay. So when talking about feeling bad about your weight or feeling bad about the food that you ate, do you feel bad about it because your stomach hurts and you feel like you can't run as far? Or do you feel bad about it because you feel like society is telling you to feel bad about it? Do you feel like your body intrinsically has more worth when it's smaller?
Are you asking me to answer that?
I mean, just whatever you have to comment on it.
I do feel that way.
I think they're saying in this post is like, you should be more concerned about how your body feels to you, not how it looks to you.
Right.
If you feel healthy, if you feel good when you go to sleep every night, then that's good, like that, and you don't have major health risks, then that's all you should really concern yourself with when it comes to your body. Are you going to add to that? You want to go to the next one?
No, go to the next one.
Okay. And so for me, it was accepting for me what I had to do to be thin. The amount of time I had to spend in the gym. I had to spend 2 hours in the gym every day and consume under 1,000 calories. That's what I had to do to be thin. Or society's standard of thin. And that's just the truth. And once I asked, I have more in my life to get. I have more to do. I have more to gain than trying my hardest to be the smallest version of myself. Because here's the trick. I went from being 200 pounds to 130 pounds in 6 months and still didn't like the way I looked. So the answer was not, did you lose enough weight? The answer was, did you love yourself anyway? Did you love yourself to begin with? And self-hatred is the worst motivator to lose weight. The one thing that will truly create a lasting, healthy relationship with diet and exercise, and that's just nutrition and health exercise, is love for your body, for the vessel in which your soul lives in. You have to love and respect yourself in order to keep it healthy, which is why people, family, parents shaming you for eating or how you stand is not good practice to keep someone healthy or thin. I don't think there's any comment on that. It's just good to know. Next one. Do you think that you need to just tell yourself, almost like fake it till you make it? Carve out a different path for your brain, even if you don't believe it at first. Say it until you do. And then the other girl said, I think that's a part of it. It's establish habits that you want to stick to. But I think more importantly, you have to distance yourself from the culture that says you aren't good enough. You have to unfollow the friends. You have to unfollow the influencers. You have to only surround yourself with the truth that you need to believe.
Oh, Kelsey's supposed to be helping me with that because I follow quite a bit of unhealthy influencers. I'm just not good for my mental
And by
health
unhealthy influencers, you mean people that push toxic diet culture, or not even just pushing it, just they make you feel a way about yourself.
No, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with following girls of a specific body type that I want to achieve, and it's kind of like unrealistic.
Yeah, they're probably like most likely plastic surgery or a little extra.
Yeah. Or face tuned or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, airbrushed. Okay, so this just adds to it. Because it's impossible to live your own narrative when you're surrounded with conflicting ones. It's impossible to truly believe what you're doing is right when one of your friends is preaching, diet pills. Like, how are you going to have a holistic view of your health when you are being bombarded with information that's so contradictory to what you need to believe to be a whole, healthy person? And it was sad because I was like, oh, I enjoyed seeing their content, but I knew that what it was doing to me. It was making me question myself and my worth and the way that I looked every single day when I did it. And it was so unhealthy to the point where I would go to bed and be like, you're never going to look like that. You're not worth anything because you're never going to look like that.
Oh, I used to say I still kind of think that's way sometimes. It's very toxic of me, but if there's a girl and she's thin, I'd be like, she's already like 50% to pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, you told me that.
She's like halfway there to being beautiful.
Yeah, like she has an automatic advantage
over me.
Yeah. So this is kind of talking about body neutrality. So you've heard body positivity. There are some pros and cons to that movement. The cons would be people trying to monetize off the movement when they are not representing what the movement stands for. But another way that we can look at this is body neutrality. And this quote kind of explains what that is. Well, when you think about your body and you want to have a good relationship with your body, think about it like a relationship with a person you love. So think about your body like a relationship with your mom. You don't love every single part of them, but you accept the parts of them. So body neutrality is about accepting your body for what it is, even if there are parts of it that you don't like. And I won't say even with its flaws, because who's to say that there are flaws? I just skipped it on accident. Let's skip that part.
Motherfucker. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you don't embarrass me, motherfucker.
All right, it says it can feel like a prison when all you're doing is focusing on your body and how to either achieve something, like achieve a certain look or a certain number, or if you're counting calories or if you're planning for meals. There's no space for people. There's no space for hobbies, for things that you love, for happiness, to celebrate things that make your life worthwhile. If it's full of all the things that are keeping you from actually living.
Man, one of my favorite quotes is from Drake, but I use it sometimes when I eat quote unquote unhealthy foods. I'll be like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Basically YOLO. Yeah. So another thing you can do in reframing is like figuring out where the voice came from. Like who's who's
telling you it's bad, you shouldn't eat that. I wouldn't eat that if I were you. Or like, oh, if you eat this, you're not going to fit into that.
Yep. One of the podcast episodes I was listening to, the girl was like, yeah, when I was a kid, like on the playground, other kid made fun of my double chin, which I probably didn't even have at the time because I was a child. And now, even today at 32 years old, I still am worried about my double chin.
Oh my God.
So like she was able to pinpoint who started that insecurity for her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucked.
So this is an interesting one. I know like my grandma who grew up in the film camera era, she is not as nearly self-conscious about how she looks in pictures because one shot's all you got. You get it or you don't. And for them, it wasn't about making... I don't know why that messed up. I want to look good in this. It was It wasn't about, I want to look good in this. It was about capturing a memory.
I love that.
And that's the thing. It's like to enjoy memories.
Yeah. That's why I've stopped, like, if a friend wants to take a picture with me, I've stopped being like, can I see it? Oh, can we take another one? Or can you not post that? And I'm just like, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And we were having fun.
Yep.
Like earlier when we took a picture of the karaoke, at first I was like, I look really bad in that picture. But I was like, you know what? We were having fun.
Yeah. And
we're going to look back at this in a couple months, or in a year, and be like, yeah, that was really
Remember
fun.
when we used to do that? Or if we still do it? Okay. All I have left are memes that are mostly body neutral affirmations. Do you want to read them?
Sure.
Okay. Angelica's going to read some body neutral affirmations.
Body neutral affirmations. My body is the least interesting thing about me. How I feel about myself has nothing to do with my appearance. My arms allow me to hug and reach and wave. I don't need to love how I look 24/7 to have a healthy body relationship. I am learning to care for my body, and this takes time. I am more than my appearance. The way I look is just one of the many facets that make me me. My worth and lovability do not depend on my looks. I am worthy for a ton of other reasons. My appearance is going to shape-shift a million times throughout my life. Sometimes I'll find myself more attractive, sometimes less so, and that's okay.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some times where like I'll wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I look skinny today. Not skinny, but you know what I mean? Like my standard of me, my body being skinny, and I'll have a great day. Or this sometimes I wake up and I'm like, damn, like I feel horrible. So I look horrible. And then it just ruins my day.
Yeah.
But I need to tell that to myself. My appearance is going to shapeshift a million times throughout my life. Sometimes I'll find myself more attractive, sometimes less so, and that's okay. I need to write that down. I don't need to feel attractive at all times to be happy and live my best life. Looking and feeling attractive are not gatekeepers to my happiness.
Do you remember right before your wedding, you were talking about like being worried about what you look like in your wedding photos? And I said, try to remember when you're looking at your wedding photos, how happy you are on that day. Because it's about the memory, like we said. It's about the memory and how you're feeling, not about how you look.
Wow. I felt the most beautiful on the day of my wedding. The absolute most beautiful. The dress was perfect. The makeup was on point. The hair, the shoes, everything. Like I loved everything about myself. That was like my dream look for my wedding. I think about that from time to time. Like I've never felt more beautiful. And I don't know if I'll ever will. It was like this feeling that should have been a happy feeling that lasted forever. That's now going to be like, I had it and I don't have it anymore.
It's like tainted.
Yeah. This is my body. My body has nothing to do with my worth. My appearance has cultural currency, but not inherent morality.
Say it again.
My appearance has cultural currency, but not inherent morality.
So like my appearance represents my culture, but not whether or not I'm good or bad.
I have other things to do than focus on my body. Worrying about my body is a distraction from other things. What else is going on for me?
Pause right there. There is research to show that whenever a body positive movement is like really getting speed and like people are really making a difference, a new diet fad or a new toxic diet culture, a new something comes out for the oppression of women specifically.
Oh, I hate that.
Or like not even body positivity, but like even if women are making way politically, a new diet culture or a new fad will come out that will then oppress women because they're more focused. More women are more focused on that than, eliminating their oppression or whatever their goal is.
Yeah, I told my brother how like a lot of like non-aging and weight loss is targeted towards women. It's a war on women.
Yeah.
And like I forgot what brought it up, but he was talking about like aren't you worried about getting older or appearing older, something like that? And I was like, yeah, but I bet you're not. And he's like, no. And I'm like, exactly. And you know why I am, and you know why you're not. And I explained it. And he was like, wow, I never even thought about that. I was like, yeah, must be nice. Never had to.
Well, and like even the women in your family, like your mom and your aunts and stuff, they're taking every measure they can to make sure they don't look old or, feel old anyways.
Well, they don't really go that extreme. I mean, my family's like somewhat active, and I would say my mom, she was a little on the toxic side growing up. I mean, as we've all gone through that. But
and back then it was like still mostly acceptable to do like toxic diet culture.
Yeah. Now
standards.
I would say my mom has. I mean, sure, she complains. Obviously, she has pain or whatever. But about her physical appearance, I feel like my mom, I would describe her as aging gracefully. Yeah. Not once has she tried a new serum to stop the wrinkles or, what I mean? Like, I'm having the thought that I don't like my body. My body is a part of the way I experience my life. It is not the only part of my experience. I do not have to admire the way my body looks to respect it. Ooh.
It's almost like being grateful for what your body does for you. Like they say to pregnant women or women who just had a baby, like make sure to cherish your body for growing a whole human being and birthing a new human onto the earth. Like, thank it for that. Thank it for being able to do that.
Yeah. My body is working for me today. My body means no harm. I release judgment towards my body. My body is the least interesting thing about me. We said that. My worth has nothing to do with my body. It's okay to have bad days. My body keeps me alive.
Yeah.
Your ideal weight is the one where you are living, engaging, and enjoying your life. Your ideal weight is the weight where you're nourishing your body with food and movement you enjoy. It's creating memories. It's traveling and trying new foods. Drinking cocktails and ugly laughing with your best mate. It's late night snacks and slow Sundays. It's love. It's adventure. It's spontaneity. It's eating a second serving of pudding because you want to, not because you need to. End of. Your ideal weight is when food and movement enhances your life but doesn't take anything away from it. It does not consume you. Your ideal weight is not a trend, a fashion statement, or an accessory. It does not change on societal whims. Your ideal weight does not leave you hungry or distracted. It does not divert your attention from the important things, the things that matter most. Your ideal weight is where you exist. It's peace. It's your home. Ooh, I love that. Snap, 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 snaps.
Yeah. I was going to comment on something in there. Let me look at it. So one thing is that, food is used to connect people in all cultures.
Yep.
In all dynamics, family, friends. Something that we ourselves use to connect, like us and our friends and our family, we use food to connect a lot. And so it would really be a shame to then put extra stigmas on something that you use to connect with other people. And it's okay to use it to connect with other people.
Yep. Yeah, kind of how you touched on earlier, like not going to a restaurant because they don't serve something you can quote unquote
you're
eat.
missing out on that connection. Oh, and the other thing I was going to say was I've started telling people recently that, like if we're eating, like say we're eating at work all together, like the job bought food or whatever, and we're all sitting there eating.
You said that. I'm waiting for the next part.
And then someone goes up to get more and they're like, I'm just going to have more because I didn't have any breakfast. Or like, well, if you guys don't mind, like I'm going to get some more. Like I have started saying verbally out loud, like you don't have to justify getting seconds to me. Like I'm going to get seconds too. I'm going to get thirds. I don't care if you eat 18 pieces of pizza. I might look at you funny because you're probably going to be very uncomfortable, but I don't care how many pieces of pizza you eat, or I don't care how many plates you go back for seconds, because if you're hungry, go eat more. Even if you're not hungry, even if you're just craving more food, go eat more. I don't care. I will not judge you for that. And I think when I was a kid, my biggest insecurity was being with other people and wanting more food, but not getting it.
Oh, you told me that.
And I would not get it because I didn't want someone to say, oh, we're going up for another plate, or, oh, you're still hungry. Like, because people had said that to me in the past. So then I would be at, say, a birthday party and everybody has one piece of pizza and I'm still hungry. Well, I'm not going to get another piece of pizza. I'm not even going to ask for it because then I'll be the only one asking for it. Or I'll feel like, is everybody watching me eating this, second piece of pizza or whatever? So from this day forward and from recently, I've been telling people, you do not have to justify eating more to me. I will not be judging you. I'm sorry that other people might be judging you, but I will not be judging you. I will not be that person because I know how that feels. And that's horrible. Nourish your body as much as you fucking want. Eat as much as you want. I don't care. I'm not in charge of your body or what you're doing or how you look. Amen.
Amen, brother.
Do you have anything else? You want to wrap it up?
No, this is definitely going to have a part 2. I almost said part tutor. Part 2. That's a school, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be a part 2. In the next episode, we're going to talk about some body privilege, weight stigma, body dysmorphia.
Yeah, we'll go deeper into it.
Yeah.
Before Angelica and I started recording, we were kind of talking about what we had each for research, and we're like, you don't know how deep and connected to everything this is until you start going down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, it's not just body dysmorphia. It's toxic language. It's not just toxic language. It's eating disorders, but not just eating disorders. There's also disordered eating. And these things are connected to racism, and these things are connected to societal, what's it called?
Economic.
Socioeconomic is what I was trying to say. Echio-socioeconomic. Standards and realities. And so.
And if diet culture doesn't work for you, you get into cosmetics, and how does that affect that? And yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, we should talk about cosmetics too. A little bit deeper into cosmetics. And then I did have research for men a little bit in this episode, but I didn't actually get to it. So we'll add that to the next episode as well. Because men struggle with eating disorders quite a bit, and also body image. So we will talk about that. Also, did you guys know it's Men's Mental Health Month?
I think I did see that. Happy Men's Mental Health Month.
Yes.
Say that 3 times.
Go
fast.
hug a man. That you know, consensually, of course.
Consensually, of course.
And that you know, not a stranger.
Reach out to someone who, may be struggling or may not be struggling, because they're taught to hide their emotions and show a brave face, and just be like, hey, you're safe with me. Right. I got you.
Exactly. All right, y'all. We're tired. We always tell you what time it is. It's 1:42 a.m. We took a long time to get recorded today.
And we didn't make food.
No, we didn't.
We karaoke'd.
We regretted not making food. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but anyway.
Again, congrats to Michael for our
oh yeah.
What did we do? Giveaway. I almost said raffle.
I almost said sweepstakes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.